So the big news in D.C. yesterday broke last evening. Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks coming to the Washington Wizards. I'm just going to read the headline from CBSSports.com. Hawks send all-star guard to Wizards in first blockbuster of NBA season. So Trae Young coming to D.C. in exchange for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert.
Not a fan, Cakes. Not a fan. I said it yesterday. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm a Bub guy. I think Bub has potential as a starting point guard. I feel like this will get in the way of his development. That said, could be wrong. Trae Young has been a fantastic scorer in the league. He led the league in assists last year. He was part of a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I know that was years ago with Atlanta. So maybe he's a piece for the future. I don't necessarily see it. He doesn't feel like a winning player to me. Doesn't feel like it's part of the plan, but they are swerving.
It's not really part of the plan, but they saw an opportunity to add an all-star caliber player to their roster without parting with any draft picks in the future, and he can provide something that this team sorely lacks, is scoring punch, is offense, and he can bring that. Now, he's a terrible defender. Everybody knows that. Everybody in the league knows that. You're going to be able to take advantage of Trae Young defensively, but the Wizards don't care about that.
They've got defensive players.
But C.J. McCollum was scoring.
No,
I don't think – is he going to be a distributor and help the young guys get more shots, or is he going to be ball dominant and take shots?
I mean, he's averaging 9 assists per game.
He's going to do both.
I don't know if you want the second part.
Well, he is one of the most ball dominant guys in the league.
Yeah,
I know it's out of favor, but he does pass the ball, and so I think they're thinking. And unfunny Ben again, I would defer to him, but from all of the analysts I saw, they say he will help develop the young players. It's a freebie for the Wizards in a sense that they gave up nothing.
There's no risk.
They gave up nothing. There's no risk. And if he balls out and it works, they can talk about a deal at some point. And if it doesn't, they move on.
And the Wizards
Wait a second. It could backfire. Let's say he's good enough that he actually helps them win more games.
Yeah, then they lose their draft pick.
I mean, they've already been moving up.
That's fine.
They've won, I think, 9 of their last 19 games. I think they're 9 and 10 of their last 19.
When they might get the 10th pick instead of the 8th. I mean, who cares?
Okay, but your top 8 picks it's protected.
Understand.
They could lose it.
They can always
No, they won't get the 10th pick. They won't get their first round pick goes to the Knicks.
Right.
Oh,
they would lose.
They would lose the first round pick.
Then they'll sit him.
Yeah, if it gets close.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing.
Then
you might
the shenanigans begin.
I think they're going to play him.
They may not play him because I think they're 3.5 games back of the Mavs for that 9th pick. They may sit him so they don't risk winning too many games.
But they will play him some because they want to see what he can do. But if it gets close, then they may sit him.
I'm surprised there was no draft capital in this deal.
So
and look, I like that from Will Dawkins and company that they're not parting with any sort of draft capital to acquire Trae Young.
No, I thought they would acquire draft capital with it.
Oh, okay.
I thought the Hawks.
I thought you
the
meant
Hawks
they
want to
didn't
get rid
send
of.
any.
I mean, the Hawks aren't. I mean,
well, they just wanted to get rid of Trae Young.
They did. They want to make it Jalen Johnson's team,
right?
Which it is now.
So we're seeing them develop these young players, right? Trae Johnson has flashes. Seems almost every game. All right, he could be your starting 2 guard of the future. You like Bilal. To me, he's a defensive player. That's fine. Maybe you want him as a defensive player. You got Bilal. You got Sarr. You know, you like Keyshawn George. Again, I'm going to go back to Bub. I like Bub. His 3-point percentage is up to 42.5% this year. We went to, I don't know if you were at that game. We went to a game. It was like a station event game where he scored over 30 last year. I think it's going to eat into the minutes of some of these guys.
Listen to this.
Trae Young will be the best player on this team offensively, by far.
Right. Have you ever heard Brad Botkin on some radio shows talking NBA? He's really good. He writes for CBS Sports. Listen to what he says about this deal. He says, hold on. Trae has wound up a triple whammy offender. He's a ball-dominant point guard who doesn't shoot threes or play a lick of defense, and he's small. The fact of the matter is, if you're going to be a small point guard in today's game, considering the price points involved, teams would rather have Colin Gillespie or Davion Mitchell than Young. He says, Young has the floater and at one point was becoming a pretty lethal mid-range guy, and he's always going to be a terrific passer, but shooting isn't one of those bottom-line abilities for a modern point guard. He talks about how his shooting has gone down.
It's gotten worse.
It's gotten worse.
Right.
He's not the shooter he was 4 or 5 years ago.
His
It's weird
percentage
with
has
the
gone down, but
3-point percentage.
He's still a 3-point shooter, though. That's crazy to say he's not a 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no,
his
that's all-
percentage.
no,
That's
but
all
his-
he shoots.
No, my
percent-
point is his percentage has gone down.
Right.
Yeah.
That's about half his shots.
Let's also listen to what Bill Simmons from The Ringer had to say about the deal
And his co-host is on here
yesterday.
today. Do you like the idea of Washington buying low on Trae Young for this year and probably next year because I don't see him opting out of his deal?
I do. I actually think there's some
Okay.
bright spots in Washington with George and Sarr. If they can keep those guys and get Trae Young, I mean, what else do they have to look forward to? They have a terrible net rating. They have trouble selling tickets. I think you got to look at them as one of the more attractive potential suitors for Trae Young. So I think it actually kind of makes sense, Bill.
It's weird because on the one hand, he's a distressed asset. It's like getting a distressed asset. On the other hand, I'm not sure he's an asset because this league is so good. Everybody's so good offensively now. We have multiple teams in the 120s.
Yeah.
So it's not like being a good offensive player is as much of his advantage as it used to be. It's a league where Denny Avdia is averaging 25, 7, and 7, you know? So when you throw in his defensive deficiencies and the fact that nobody seems to like playing with him, I don't really know what you're getting. But if I'm Washington and I have this goofy team of basically shooting guards that bring the ball up, maybe.
I personally don't love the trade.
To me,
Could be wrong. Do you like the trade?
I like it. I like it in this sense. For the first time in maybe 40 years as a Wizards fan, it's the first time I can recall a really good player wanting to come to the Wizards. I think that is a potential sea change type of move for the franchise because they're for
But
years,
why did he want to
no,
come to the Wizards?
I don't
Think about
care.
that.
I don't care. I don't care why he wanted to come to the Wizards.
He just wanted to get out of Atlanta.
He wanted to come to the Wizards. And that alone, to me is a big thing. Because for years, this has been just a wasteland. Nobody wanted to come here. Kevin Durant turned his nose up at the Wizards, along with countless other players. Like, free agents didn't want to come here.
But it's not a wanted player.
Trae Young, who cares? Trae Young wanted to come to the Wizards, which gives me belief that down the line, other players may want to come to this because they like the way that Will Dawkins is building the
I don't
team
think that's why
and
he wants to
building the
come here. I
roster.
think he wanted to come here. Number one, he didn't have many choices.
Yeah.
And number two, he can get his numbers here.
That's fine. I don't care what the
It's-
reason
it's-
is.
I think
Trae Young wanted to come to the Wizards.
he's
Well,
better.
that's never happened before.
No, I don't
How
think
do we
that's
know that?
That's not true at all.
How do we know that?
That's not
Just
true at
because
all.
he said it? I mean, who knows?
Hey, maybe I'm just.
He wants to go
maybe
anywhere.
I'm buying his agent's propaganda.
Right, because nobody else wanted him, and Atlanta. He
Right.
knew Atlanta didn't want him.
That's
So
fine.
of course he's going to say, "I want to go to the Wizards." But hold on, he wants to go wherever he's going to get a long-term deal.
Well, I don't know that Will Dawkins is ready to give him a long-term deal.
I know. So let's just say he opts out of his player option.
Look, this is Will Dawkins.
If someone else is going to give him 3 or 4 years for 180
fine.
million, that's where he wants to go.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He doesn't
can
want
go
to just
there.
come here because he
can go
thinks
there. Because
it's the future for
They
him.
gave up nothing to get him. They gave up
No,
an
I agree.
expiring contract and Corey Kispert.
I agree.
They literally gave up nothing to roll the dice on Trae Young.
Yeah.
And
I just don't put stock in him saying I wanted to come to the Wizards.
I put some stock in it.
I
He
put
didn't have
almost
any
no
options.
stock.
I
don't.
would because he didn't have any options.
And
Nobody around the league really wanted
Okay,
him.
but what
other
else is he gonna
teams-
say?
Other teams interested.
He's not going to say
Yeah, but
that. I don't want to go to the Wizards. I want to go to the Kings.
it's he's a better version of Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
And Jordan Poole kind of wanted to be here. Remember, he nixed the deal initially. Why? Because he could put up numbers. Because if you're Trae Young here, if you ultimately want to go to a better team, play well for the Wizards. And what I'll say, I'll give him credit. I'm saying he's a losing player. He averaged 11.6 assists last season.
Yeah.
Just last season.
Yeah.
Led the NBA in assists.
I know, I
So
told you that.
he may fit in fine. I'm not a huge fan. Maybe I'm too high on Bub. Maybe Bub will be a bum. I don't know. I'm curious to see. I would play Bub a lot more, and see what you got there.
I think Bubba's
They have a-
fine. because
I like the deal
he's never going
because
to develop into a player like Trae Young. Like on that, he's not going to be a
I'm
full-time
arguing with
all-star.
Cakes.
Probably
like,
not,
like
but I
don't
think he'll
like the
develop
deal,
more than
but
your
I
guy
actually
Bilal.
like the deal because I trust Will Dawkins.
Right.
Right.
And I trust what their
I
plan
think what they're
is.
thinking is they got a 27-year-old four-time All-Star who is like damn near led the league in scoring and assists. That's
Right.
like very rarely ever happened. Who obviously the league is frowning on his style of play, but maybe he could come in there and be a little subservient to the younger players because he's playing for a deal. He wants to get a new deal, and if he could set up the other guys, they might have
Well,
something.
plus
if not, get rid of them.
This Wizards team, they have no real money on the books. So, like the Hawks, they couldn't wait to get rid of him because they didn't want to pay him the $49 million player option next year. The Wizards, they fit that in easily. Like the only guy they have on the roster long term past this season is Champagne, and he makes no money. He makes like an NBA.
No, they got like $90 million in cap space.
Yeah, so they have a ton of money. So they're like, okay, we'll kick the tires on Trae Young and see if it works. If it doesn't work, we move on to the next.
But
if
Will Dawkins, he covets draft picks, and he's been acquiring all these draft picks.
Right.
There's no way he wants to lose out on the top 8 pick.
They're not going to lose out on that pick.
Okay, mathematically it doesn't look like it.
Right.
But if Trae Young starts to play immediately and he starts to ball out, how do you know? They're only 3.5 games back of the Mavericks for that 9th spot. Maybe they get better. Benj, what's the
They've been better.
That's what I mean. What's their record in the last 15?
I think they're 9-10 in their last 19.
Or so they're 9-10 in the last 19. You're playing 500 ball in the last month and a half.
Right.
And now you're adding Trae Young.
Concerning.
Now you're adding Trae Young?
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's not going to play, unless you're going to sit him. That is concerning.
There's a precedent, though, that was set last year by Toronto. They acquired Brandon Ingram in February, who had a sprained ankle in December.
Mm-hmm.
He did not play the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That'd be the world's worst sprained ankle, or they just
I'd be
obviously were
surprised
tanking.
if they don't play him a little bit.
The Athletic already reported they're going to take his time for him to get fully healthy.
Yeah, but I think they're going to play him at some point because I think they want to see
It could happen.
if he can help the young guys.
The team's playing better. Look, they started off 1-15, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, correct.
And 9-10 since then. Look, it could work. I would bet this, and I'm willing to put this in the bet book for $20 because it'll be a long-term bet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'll be on the team in 2 years.
Oh, I would never place that bet for
yeah.
$20.
I think
That's probably
I'll
a-
place it for-
people would
I'll place
say-
it
That's
for
probably a good bet.
$2.
I mean,
Say maybe there's a 20% chance.
Yeah.
Like if he could be a little bit subservient and he can really say, okay, I'm gonna really focus on helping develop these young guys for you because I want a big deal.
Well, here would be
It's
my
like
question.
20%
Cake
chance.
seems to like this deal. Why do you like the deal if you don't believe he's going to be on the team in 2 years?
Because he
So you just want like some...
he can be a steadying force for the young guys, and he provides offense. Something this team they're sorely lacking.
Okay, but how do you know he's going to be a steadying force for the young guys?
I don't know that. I think he could be.
Did you hear Bill Simmons say
I
that?
don't know that. I don't know that he's
I don't know-
Did
I
you hear
know
Bill
how-
Simmons say players don't like playing with him?
No, it's.
I don't know how he's good with
understand.
the young guys yet.
His-
Maybe he'll change his ways. but-
I can answer this for you, Cakes. Because I have the same siceness feeling.
Right.
It's because he has cachet. Like
he'll put people in the seat.
It's a sugar high.
Yeah.
Well, me and Cakes are snorting it
So
up.
you want a
right
sugar
now.
high?
We're taking it,
You
man.
want a sugar high?
Put it in my vein. This is like it's Trae Young. It's and it just means like I don't know, like the rebuild has gone to a threshold now.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they've reached a checkpoint in this whole process of rebuilding. The fact that you're able to acquire an asset like Trae Young.
Hey, Valdez, we woke up with a case of bullets fever this morning.
But it doesn't.
A slight
Here's what makes no sense to me. If you don't believe and you're not willing to bet that he's going to be part of the team in 2 years, then he's not really part of the rebuild.
Right.
And you were supposedly all in on the rebuild, but now all of a sudden you want the Band-Aid that's going to give you the scoring.
you
were a tanker.
I'm still in
and
on the
now you don't
rebuild.
mind a guy who's going to just give you more points.
This
This feels
doesn't-
like Bradley Beal.
This doesn't really affect the rebuild. No, it's not Bradley Beal because Bradley Beal had
It does affect
he
the
had
rebuild.
a poisonous, onerous contract.
It does affect the rebuild if
Young
he
does
plays. If he plays, he's going to take minutes.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
but we don't know what the plan is.
I'm
They've
fine
already-
with him taking Bub Carrington's minutes.
They like
personally.
Bub. They don't like him like you.
Yeah.
Like you
I'm
have
fine
Bub
with
on a
that.
You got
pedestal.
you're Chubb for Bub.
Yeah.
We're just Bub.
Yeah.
No,
But I
no,
think Bub's
look,
good.
yeah,
But
I think-
they've already decided Bub's not the player that you think he is.
I don't know that he is. I think he
you're
has
hoping.
the potential. Look, I'm higher on Bub than Bilal. But Bilal plays defense. Give him that.
Yeah, he shuts down the other team's best defensive player. That's his assignment.
Well, he doesn't shut him down. Take a look at the metrics.
Okay, well, I'm going to blame it more on the other players than Bub, but like he's a defensive stopper. That's kind
I
of
just
why.
kind of have to trust Will Dawkins. I trust him.
In Will we trust.
Don't know what the future is for Trae here. I would probably lean towards JP that he wouldn't be here long term. How good is he going to be with the young players? We don't know. We have no idea. His reputation in Atlanta wasn't that he was great with the young players.
Right.
It's the reason they wanted to get rid of him.
Maybe he's maturing. Maybe he realizes he needs
Well,
to take these
he also-
youngsters under his wing.
But he also wants a longer term deal. He doesn't want to have to
Understood.
opt into $49 million.
Did you check in with your source?
He's on a different time clock than me, but I've talked to him briefly about it.
Good to have sources, well-placed sources.
Is he a Trey guy?
No, he
or-
likes Trey. But he told me he's just okay with the young guys.
Because he probably cares about himself. Yeah.
Right, he's like
But
trying
again,
to get his.
let's see how long it takes for Keefe and Will Dawkins
But
to play him.
if they sit him down and they go, listen, you see, there's not a lot of, if you want a chance at any kind of big deal, you're going to have to be a little subservient. You have to change your game a little bit.
Yeah,
Let's see. If he has a brain, maybe he will.
Yeah.
But,
So we'll
but
see.
listen, I mean, if you told me they'd acquired LaMelo Ball, I'd have a similar reaction. Like, you know what I mean? They're similar type players.
They're similar.
I mean, look, again, to his credit, the guy's led the league in assists. And he's been a guy who's led a team to the Eastern Conference Finals. He was the leading scorer on that team. He's been a guy who's averaged almost 30 points a game at one point in his career. It's come down the last couple of seasons.
I'm not going to claim that I'm some NBA expert. I'm not. Certainly not at this age. But I did watch a guy, an NBA guy, and he made the distinction between a pass to assist guy versus a guy that's going to pass to initiate the offense and really try to get things going. That he's more about just holding on for that flashy assist than necessarily moving the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's a high usage guy. But, there are a lot of the great players are high usage guys. James Harden, Luka Doncic, LeBron James. Those are traditionally high usage guys. It means they're dribbling the ball a lot.
For sure. But where instead maybe he should be moving it and being more of a part of the offense than either shooting or waiting for the flashy assist, which is kind of all about you in both instances, which is kind of like what Trey Young is.
By the way, to my guy Bub, he might be a 2-guard now.
He's pretty versatile.
And he's been kind of a combo guard anyway.
Sure.
Which eats into the minutes of Trey Johnson. That's all I'm saying is you're going to eat into minutes of some of the guys that you want to see.
What's interesting is from your perspective, I know you're always looking, you always think they need stars. Love him or hate him, he's a star.
Yeah.
He's been a star.
Okay, this year maybe they had some injuries and stuff, but he's been a star, 4-time All-Star.
Yeah. That's true.
I know a guy based in Atlanta that said he's one of the top 7 all-time Hawks players in the history
I would
of the
agree.
Hawks.
I would agree with that too.
Yeah.
That just
At such a young
there
age.
haven't been great Hawks
the
players.
Hawks had 7 great players.
Yeah. I mentioned Dominique.
Dominique.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
Kevin
Pete
Willis.
I didn't even know Pete Maravich played.
Kevin
for the
Willis, right?
Hawks.
Doc Rivers,
Well, they didn't mention those guys, but anyway.
Al Horford.
Yeah, that list is kind of might not be the
Well, I
greatest.
mean,
list.
anytime you're averaging 30 a game, for a few years, you're probably going to be one of the greatest Hawks.
I just don't know if it fits into the rebuild. You can
That's
chime in.
true. We don't know that.
1-800-636-1067. I put this up as the poll of the day, sponsored by Surfside. Use the code JUNKS at store.statesidevodka.com. You get 25% off. Select merch, tees, hats, hoodies, and more. Use the code JUNKS at store.statesidevodka.com. Vote at Junks Radio. It's right around 50-50. Do you like the trade for Trae Young? The Wizards, in the midst of this rebuild, in the midst of tanking, have traded for a 4-time NBA All-Star. Do you like it?
I like it. I'm a big fan of the trade. I'm a big Trae Young guy. I probably won't get a jersey because it might be
Cakes?
It might not last very long.
This is what I think.
Well, I'm the emperor and gladiator. I give it the thumbs up. All right, 800-636-1067 if you want to weigh in on the Trae Young deal. We will definitely get back into that later in the 7 o'clock hour. And at 7:20, Brian Baldinger, Odyssey NFL Insider, he will join the show.